10 Mystical Stories That Will Change the Way You See Life Part 2. Mystery isn't just about ancient legends or secret teachings passed down through generations. It's also a journey into the deepest layers of the soul, where timeless truths lie hidden, waiting to be discovered. On this journey, every story, no matter how simple it may seem, can become a gateway to a vivid and meaningful inner world. Today, on Inner Stillness, we bring you 10 captivating mystical stories that not only ignite curiosity but also carry profound lessons. These are not just tales for entertainment. They are fragments of wisdom designed to help you uncover the mysteries of life with greater clarity and purpose. Have you ever wondered what might happen if a seemingly simple story could awaken the answers to the deepest questions within you? Let's embark on this journey together, where each story is not just an experience but a guiding light for the soul, illuminating the path to true peace and wisdom. On the journey to uncovering mysteries, sometimes a single moment or a short story holds the power to transform the way we perceive the world around us. These stories are not just told. They invite us to listen with our hearts and open our minds to feel the profound truths hidden within. Let us begin with the first story, where a simple lesson carries an unexpected power to transform lives. Story 1. The Whispering Tree. Amid a vast desert, where the blazing sun scorched the earth and dry winds swept up clouds of sand, a weary traveler trudged forward, searching for water and shade. He had been walking for days, dehydrated and exhausted, teetering on the brink of despair. Just as he thought he could take no more, he saw a colossal tree standing tall in the middle of the desert, like a miracle amidst the barren land. Rushing toward the tree, he sank down beneath its wide canopy, basking in the cool shade and feeling a soothing breeze pass through its leaves. The serene atmosphere wrapped around him like a gentle embrace. Suddenly, a strange sensation crept into his mind. The tree began to whisper. The voice was soft, profound, and resonated deeply within him. It wasn't coming from anyone or anything visible, but from the ancient tree itself. The tree spoke. Humans often seek permanence in a world that is ever-changing. But do you not see? Everything is impermanent, like the wind brushing over the sand, like clouds drifting across the sky. Everything will pass. The traveler was stunned, unsure if this was an illusion or a divine message. Closing his eyes, he let the tree's words flow through him. Let go of the chains you've bound around your mind, the anxieties, fears of the future, or regrets of the past. They are but cages you've created yourself. Lie fully in the present, and you will find freedom. When he opened his eyes again, the sunlight seemed softer, and everything around him appeared sharper and more vivid. A profound peace settled within him, a tranquility he had never known before. Meaning and lesson. The ancient tree in the desert is not just a natural wonder. It symbolizes the wisdom of the universe. This story teaches us, life is impermanent. Everything in life is in a constant state of change, from joy to sorrow, from success to failure. Accepting impermanence helps us release our attachment to what has passed and our longing for what cannot be. Live fully in the present, rather than worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. We should focus on the present moment, for the present is all we truly have. Let go to find freedom. The burdens of the mind are not caused by circumstances, but by how we respond to them. When we let go, we discover lightness and serenity. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by the challenges of life, remember the image of the ancient tree in the desert. Sometimes, what we need most is not a solution but a moment of stillness, to listen, to accept, and to let go. This is the voice of the universe, always whispering within our souls. Story 2. The Invisible Thread. In a remote mountain monastery, perched amidst serene clouds and whispering winds, a Zen master often spoke to his disciples about an ancient truth, the invisible thread that connects all living beings. One evening, as the moon cast its soft light over the temple, a young disciple approached the master with a puzzled expression. "Master," he asked, "you speak of this invisible thread, but how can something unseen hold such power? How can we know it truly exists?" The master smiled gently, as if anticipating the question. He handed the disciple a bowl of water and asked him to sit by the temple's edge. "Be patient," the master said, "and observe." Days passed, and life at the monastery continued as usual. The disciple, however, felt an inexplicable heaviness growing in his chest. It was not his own sorrow, he was certain of it, but a profound sadness that seemed to come from nowhere. Confused, he sought solitude to meditate. As he sat in silence, he suddenly felt a vision flash through his mind. He saw a man far away, sitting alone in the shadows of a crumbled village, his face streaked with tears. The man's despair was so vivid that the disciple's own heart ached deeply. Overwhelmed, the disciple rushed to the Zen master. "Master, I felt it," he exclaimed. "I felt the pain of someone far away, someone I've never even met. How is this possible?" The master nodded, his expression calm but wise. "The invisible thread," he explained, "is not something your eyes can see. It is felt in the heart. When we cultivate stillness and compassion, we attune ourselves to the silent pulse of the universe, the joys, sorrows, and energies of all beings connected to us." The disciple, now humbled and enlightened, understood the profound truth. This story unveils the mystical reality of interconnection. 1. We are all connected. The invisible thread symbolizes the profound and subtle bonds that tie all living beings together, transcending distance and time. 2. Our actions ripple outward. What we think, feel, or do sends vibrations across this invisible thread, affecting others in ways we may never fully realize. Compassion, kindness, and mindfulness can amplify positivity throughout the web of existence. 3. Empathy opens the path to unity. When we quiet our minds and open our hearts, we can feel the collective joy and pain of others. This awareness deepens our understanding of life's shared essence. Each moment of our lives offers us a choice: to act with love and intention or to remain disconnected. The next time you feel a sudden wave of joy or sadness, pause and consider. It may not be yours alone, but part of the vast, mystical thread that binds us all. Inner Stillness invites you to explore these truths, to embrace the whispers of connection that surround us every day. Story 3: The Secret Door. In an ancient monastery hidden deep within the mountains, where golden sunsets bathed the peaks and the sound of temple bells resonated in tranquil silence, a young man arrived in search of enlightenment. He devoted his days to stillness, meditation, and absorbing the teachings of the venerable monks. Yet, despite his efforts, his mind remained restless. He felt that something was missing, as though an invisible veil separated him from the truth he so desperately sought. One night, as pale moonlight streamed through the small window of his room, he had a strange dream. In the dream, a secret door appeared on the wall of his chamber. The door looked ancient yet alluring, as if it had been waiting for him all along. Compelled by curiosity, he opened the door. Inside, instead of leading to another room, he found a large mirror. Gazing into the mirror, he saw nothing but his own reflection. However, in his eyes, he could see a profound stillness and inner strength that he had never recognized before. In that moment, he awoke suddenly, his heart racing, yet his soul was filled with clarity. He realized that the secret door was not a pathway to some distant place or extraordinary miracle outside himself, but rather an invitation to discover his own essence. The next morning, he recounted his dream to the abbot. The abbot simply smiled and said, "The door you seek has never been outside of you. All the answers you need have always been within you, waiting for you to find the stillness to see them." This story reveals a mystical truth. Enlightenment is not something we seek externally, but a journey to rediscover ourselves. The secret door represents self-awareness. The door does not exist physically, but symbolizes the inner journey. It reminds us that life's greatest questions, who am I? What is the meaning of life? Can only be answered from within. The mirror as a symbol of ourselves. The mirror in the dream reflects not only the young man's image, but also his purified mind and soul. Only when we are brave enough to face ourselves can we see the deeper truths of who we are. Stillness leads to discovery. The mysticism of the secret door reminds us that we need stillness and focus to hear the whispers of our inner being. Have you ever felt like you were searching for something profound but didn't know where to begin? Remember, the answers are not far away. They lie within, waiting for you to confront them with courage and stillness. Story 4. The Eternal Flame. In a sacred temple nestled amidst rolling hills and ancient woods, a flame had burned ceaselessly for centuries. Pilgrims from far and wide traveled to witness its glow, marveling at its unwavering brilliance. Legends surrounded the flame, with whispers of its divine origin and the mysteries it held. One day, a curious seeker approached the temple elder, a figure of wisdom and serenity, and asked, "What is the secret of this eternal flame? How has it endured the passage of centuries without ever fading?" The elder, with a gentle smile, gestured towards the flame and replied, "This flame is not sustained by mere oil or wood. It is nourished by unwavering faith and the steadfastness of the human spirit. Each prayer whispered here, each moment of devotion, adds fuel to this flame. It burns because we believe it will burn." The seeker stood in awe, understanding the profound meaning hidden within those simple words. The eternal flame was not just a physical phenomenon, but a manifestation of collective faith and resilience. This story carries a mystical truth. Just as the eternal flame is kept alive by faith, so too can our inner light remain steady through the storms of life if we hold on to belief and determination. The eternal flame as a symbol of faith. The flame represents the power of unyielding faith and perseverance. It reminds us that challenges and uncertainties in life can be overcome when we fuel our inner spirit with trust and resolve. Faith sustains us through difficult times. The elder's words reflect the mystical idea that faith is not passive but an active force that nourishes and sustains us. Like the flame, our spirit grows stronger when supported by belief and purpose, resilience and unity. The collective devotion of those who visited the temple illustrates how shared belief and unity can create something enduring and transcendent. Reflect on this story. Have you faced moments where it felt impossible to move forward? Let this story remind you that faith, whether in yourself, in others, or in a higher purpose, can be the flame that guides you through the darkest nights. Story 5. The Silent Sage. In a grand palace adorned with gold and jewels, a powerful king summoned a renowned sage to his court. The king, eager to impress his court and learn profound wisdom, welcomed the sage with grand gestures and luxurious. Story 4. The Eternal Flame. In a sacred temple nestled amidst rolling hills and ancient woods, a flame had burned ceaselessly for centuries. Pilgrims from far and wide traveled to witness its glow, marveling at its unwavering brilliance. Legends surrounded the flame, with whispers of its divine origin and the mysteries it held. One day, a curious seeker approached the temple elder, a figure of wisdom and serenity, and asked, "What is the secret of this eternal flame? How has it endured the passage of centuries without ever fading?" The elder, with a gentle smile, gestured towards the flame and replied, "This flame is not sustained by mere oil or wood. It is nourished by unwavering faith and the steadfastness of the human spirit. Each prayer whispered here, each moment of devotion, adds fuel to this flame. It burns because we believe it will burn." The seeker stood in awe, understanding the profound meaning hidden within those simple words. The eternal flame was not just a physical phenomenon, but a manifestation of collective faith and resilience. This story carries a mystical truth. Just as the eternal flame is kept alive by faith, so too can our inner light remain steady through the storms of life if we hold on to belief and determination. The eternal flame as a symbol of faith. The flame represents the power of unyielding faith and perseverance. It reminds us that challenges and uncertainties in life can be overcome when we fuel our inner spirit with trust and resolve. Faith sustains us through difficult times. The elder's words reflect the mystical idea that faith is not passive but an active force that nourishes and sustains us. Like the flame, our spirit grows stronger when supported by belief and purpose, resilience and unity. The collective devotion of those who visited the temple illustrates how shared belief and unity can create something enduring and transcendent. Reflect on this story. Have you faced moments where it felt impossible to move forward? Let this story remind you that faith, whether in yourself, in others, or in a higher purpose, can be the flame that guides you through the darkest nights. Offerings. Please, share your knowledge with me and my people, the king requested, his voice filled with expectation. The sage, dressed in simple robes, nodded gently but remained silent. The court grew restless as minutes turned to hours. The king, puzzled and slightly irritated, leaned forward and asked, "Why do you not speak? Do you have no wisdom to share?" The sage smiled, his calm demeanor unaffected by the king's impatience. "Your Majesty," he said softly, "true wisdom does not always need words. In silence lies the space where understanding is born. In the absence of noise, we hear the whispers of truth." The court fell silent, and even the restless king found himself pondering the sage's words. The emptiness he once feared in the sage's silence now felt profound, as if it carried a depth no spoken word could ever convey. From that day onward, the king began to embrace moments of silence in his court, seeking reflection and clarity in the quiet spaces between thoughts, meaning, and lesson. This story unveils a mystical truth. Silence is not the absence of communication, but a profound form of it. In silence, we connect with ourselves, discover hidden truths, and understand the world more deeply. Silence as a source of strength. The sage's silence is not a lack of response, but a deliberate act of power. It teaches us that sometimes, what is left unsaid carries more weight than 1,000 spoken words. Reflection and clarity in silence. Silence offers the gift of introspection. In our busy lives filled with constant noise, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. The sage's actions remind us that stepping back and listening to the quiet within ourselves can reveal answers we seek. Mystical teachings of silence. Throughout history, mysticism has emphasized the importance of silence as a gateway to higher understanding. When we quiet the mind, we create a space for profound insights to emerge. Consider this story. Have you ever found clarity in moments of silence? This story invites you to embrace stillness and reflection as tools for deeper understanding. Instead of fearing silence, see it as a powerful ally on your journey of self-discovery. Story 6. The Monk and the Illusion. One sunny day, as the warmth of the sun blanketed the land, a monk sat meditating by a tranquil river. The river flowed gently through lush green hills, reflecting the blue sky and soft, billowing clouds, a picturesque scene of nature's harmony. As the monk sat in stillness, he opened his eyes and saw his reflection in the water. Initially, the reflection was clear, but then a gentle breeze swept across the surface, creating ripples that distorted his image into something strange and unrecognizable. The monk gazed at the water intently, and suddenly, a profound realization dawned upon him. He thought to himself, "This river is like our mind. When the water is calm, everything appears clear. But when it's stirred by fear, desire, and chaotic thoughts, the truth becomes distorted. What remains are mere illusions." The monk continued to sit by the river, allowing it to teach him the nature of life. When the ripples subsided, his reflection returned to its original clarity. He smiled, feeling a newfound clarity within. He realized that, like the river, our lives are filled with illusions and distortions unless we maintain calmness and inner stillness. Meaning and lesson. The story of the monk and the river reveals a mystical truth. Our lives resemble the surface of the water, easily distorted by external forces and inner emotions. The mind as a reflective mirror. The river in the story symbolizes the mind. When the mind is calm, it becomes a mirror reflecting the truth. However, when it is disturbed, it shows only distorted images, just as fear and desire cloud our clarity. Seeing beyond the illusions. The story reminds us not to believe everything we see, as it may merely be an illusion created by an unsettled mind. Learn to look beyond these illusions to uncover deeper truths. Stillness as the key to clarity. Just as the river reflects clearly when it is still, Our minds need calmness to perceive the truth. Take time to quiet your mind so you can uncover what truly matters in life. Reflect on this story. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by chaotic thoughts and emotions? Pause for a moment, calm your mind, and look at things from a new perspective. The answers you seek might be as simple as finding clarity within. Story 7. The Cave Guardian. High atop a mountain shrouded in mist, there lay a cave said to hold unimaginable treasures. Many had tried to claim the treasure, but returned with tales of a fearsome dragon that guarded the entrance. The dragon was said to breathe fire and fill the air with a deafening roar, driving away even the bravest of warriors. One day, a fearless warrior set out to face the challenge. Climbing the rocky paths, he finally reached the cave. There, the dragon awaited, its enormous eyes glowing with menace, and its teeth gleaming like sharpened blades. The warrior gripped his sword tightly and took a deep breath. As he stepped closer, the dragon let out a thunderous roar that shook the very earth beneath his feet. Fear began to creep into the warrior's heart, but he paused and observed. Something felt off. The dragon's movements seemed unnatural, its form flickering like a shadow in the sunlight. Summoning his courage, the warrior took another step forward. As he did, the dragon began to fade, its terrifying form dissolving like smoke. In that moment, the warrior realized the truth. The dragon was not real. It was an illusion, born from his own fears and doubts. With renewed determination, he entered the cave unopposed and discovered the treasure, a radiant gem that filled the cave with light. When he held the gem in his hands, he understood that the true treasure was not the gem itself, but the courage and self-belief that had allowed him to confront his fears. Meaning and lesson. The story of the Cave Guardian reveals a mystical truth. The greatest obstacles in life are often illusions created by our fears and insecurities. The dragon as a symbol of fear. The dragon represents the fear and self-doubt that prevent us from reaching our full potential. It shows us how powerful these illusions can seem when we don't confront them. Treasure beyond fear. The radiant gem symbolizes the rewards waiting for us when we overcome our fears. Whether it's inner peace, self-confidence, or newfound wisdom, the most valuable treasures often lie on the other side of our struggles. Courage as the key. This story reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it. Only by stepping forward and challenging our fears can we see them for what they truly are, mere shadows. Reflect on this story. What fears hold you back? Are they truly as powerful as they seem? Or are they illusions born from uncertainty? Take a step toward them, and you may find that they vanish like the dragon in the cave. Story 8. The Endless Ladder. In a remote village, a seeker of truth discovered an ancient ladder said to lead to heaven. The ladder stretched endlessly into the sky, its top hidden in the clouds. Overwhelmed with wonder, the seeker began his climb, convinced that he would reach paradise if he persevered. Step by step, he ascended, each rung requiring greater effort than the last. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The higher he climbed, the more his body ached. But he kept going, driven by the promise of ultimate enlightenment. As he climbed, he began to notice the beauty of the world around him, the vibrant colors of the sunrise, the way the wind whispered through the air, and the vast expanse of the sky. He reflected on the strength and determination he had developed during the climb. One day, he paused and looked back at the path he had taken. He realized he could no longer see the ground below or the clouds above. The ladder seemed infinite. It dawned on him that the ladder itself wasn't leading to a destination. It was a test, a journey meant to shape him. With this understanding, the seeker stopped climbing. He sat on a rung, took a deep breath, and smiled. He had found what he was looking for, not in a distant heaven, but within himself. The ladder had transformed him, teaching him patience, perseverance, and a deeper appreciation for life, meaning and lesson. The endless ladder is a metaphor for life and the pursuit of enlightenment. It reminds us that true wisdom and fulfillment are not found in reaching a final destination, but in the journey itself. The ladder as a symbol of growth. The ladder represents the continuous journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. Each rung is a step forward, a challenge that helps us become stronger, wiser, and more aware. The journey over the destination. The story emphasizes that the pursuit of enlightenment is not about reaching a specific point, but about the transformation we undergo along the way. It's the experiences, struggles, and lessons we encounter that truly matter. Finding heaven within. The seeker's realization that the latter didn't lead anywhere reflects a profound mystical truth. What we seek outside often already exists within us. By embracing the journey, we discover our inner strength and wisdom. Reflect on this story. Are you so focused on reaching a goal that you forget to appreciate the journey? Consider pausing and reflecting on what you've learned and how you've grown along the way. Sometimes, the path itself is the reward. Story 9. The Mystic's Mirror. In a bustling marketplace, a troubled man sought out a renowned mystic known for his wisdom and mysterious artifacts. The man had spent years battling feelings of anger, fear, and self-doubt, and he longed for answers to the turmoil in his life. The mystic, seated beneath a canopy of woven silk, listened quietly to the man's lament. Then, without a word, the mystic reached beneath his robes and retrieved a small, polished mirror. Its frame was simple yet gleamed as if it held secrets untold. "Take this mirror," the mystic said. "It will show you both your greatest enemy and your most powerful ally." The man eagerly took the mirror and peered into its reflective surface, expecting to see a divine figure or an image of his tormentor. Instead, he saw only his own face staring back at him. Confused, he looked up at the mystic. "I see nothing but myself," he said. The mystic smiled. "Exactly. The source of your struggles lies within you, as does the power to overcome them. You are your own greatest obstacle and your greatest strength." The man was struck by the simplicity yet profoundness of the truth. He realized that his anger, fear, and doubts were born from within, and so too was his capacity for peace, courage, and clarity. The mirror had shown him what he had been too blind to see: himself. From that day forward, he carried the mirror as a reminder that every battle he faced began and ended with himself. Meaning and lesson. The mystic's mirror symbolizes the power of self-awareness and introspection. It teaches us that the root of our struggles and the solutions to them often lie within ourselves. Self-reflection as the key. The mirror represents the importance of looking inward to understand the true nature of our challenges. It reminds us that self-awareness is the foundation for personal growth and transformation. We are both the problem and the solution. The story emphasizes that we have the power to shape our reality. While our fears and doubts may seem external, they often stem from within. Similarly, our strength and courage also come from within. The mirror as a tool for inner clarity. The mirror is a metaphor for the clarity that comes with self-reflection. By acknowledging our flaws and strengths, we can learn to navigate life with greater wisdom and understanding. Reflect on this story. When faced with challenges, do you look outward for someone to blame or inward for understanding? The next time you face adversity, consider how your own perspective and actions might play a role. Remember, the key to overcoming obstacles often lies within you. Story 10. The Inner Light. In the depths of a vast, ancient forest, a weary traveler wandered aimlessly, lost and engulfed by the shadowy embrace of towering trees. The night had fallen, and the darkness seemed impenetrable. He stumbled, his heart filled with despair, longing for a way out. As he sat beneath a gnarled tree to catch his breath, a faint glimmer of light appeared in the distance. It was soft yet captivating, shimmering like a beacon of hope amidst the gloom. Determined, he rose and began following the light, believing it would guide him to safety. The path was treacherous, with roots and brambles clawing at his steps, but he pressed on, his eyes fixed on the glimmer. As he approached, the light grew brighter and warmer, enveloping him in a comforting glow. Finally, he reached the source of the light, expecting to find a lantern or some divine phenomenon. Instead, he found himself standing in a small clearing, utterly empty. Confused, he looked around, and then down at his own chest, where he saw a soft, radiant light emanating from within his heart. The traveler stood in stunned silence, realizing that the guiding light had not been external at all. It had always been within him, waiting to be discovered. His despair melted away, replaced by a profound sense of peace and clarity. With this newfound understanding, he no longer felt lost. The forest that had seemed menacing now felt like a part of him, and he walked forward with confidence, knowing that the light within would always guide his way. Meaning and lesson. The story of the inner light reveals a universal truth. The answers and guidance we often seek from the outside world already reside within us. The inner light as a source of guidance. The light symbolizes the wisdom, strength, and clarity that lie within every individual. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, we possess the tools to navigate through life. External search versus inner discovery. The traveler's journey highlights the contrast between searching for solutions externally and finding them internally. It encourages us to pause and reflect, trusting our inner light to guide us. The power of self-belief. The story emphasizes the importance of self-belief. Just as the traveler trusted the light to lead him, we too must trust in our inner resources to overcome challenges and find our path. Reflect on this story. Have you ever sought answers or validation outside of yourself, only to realize that you already held the key within? This tale invites you to explore the light within you, the source of your strength, wisdom, and hope. These mystical stories are like rays of light piercing the soul, reminding us that the greatest truths in life are not found in distant places, but often hidden right before our eyes, waiting for us to be still enough to notice. Each story is not just a lesson, but an invitation to pause, reflect, and connect with yourself on a deeper level. Did you see yourself in any of these stories? Which mystical tale touched your heart the most or changed your perspective on life? Share your thoughts in the comments below, as every insight adds to the journey of discovery. And don't forget to subscribe to Inner Stillness, where we explore the world of mystical tales, uncover the hidden corners of the soul, hear whispers from the universe, and find treasures hidden in stillness. Remember, the path to wisdom doesn't begin with searching, but with stillness. Inner Stillness will always be here to walk with you on this journey to uncover the wonders that lie within. Sparkles.